one of the nodes that can help us measure the distance to an object is a node that just does that. If I type in distance, under particle getters we have get distance to object. And it's assumed that we're working with the particle position. So we're getting the distance between the particle position and the global position of the object in question. So if we look at the burn distance object, I'll press F3 and open up its kinematics global transform and drag its position into the graph and feed that vector output into the distance to object input. From that, we now get a distance to object, a distance between our object and the particles. If I output the distance into the age limit, we would then need to delete the particles when they reach that age limit. So I'll find another age compound, delete particle at age limit, and I'll make sure that I delete the particles in the ice tree. So I'll insert a port before the simulate particles and plug my delete particles at age limit compound in there. So one of the problems here, and you can actually see that the cigarette is dying off, if I hide the cigarette geo, and I play for long enough, you can see that the particles do die off. But what we can do is actually use the length of the cigarette to help us out. This is where some of the debugging actually comes in. If we wanted to look at the distance of each particle to the burn distance object, we can use some of the debugging tools in ICE and show values. Now we're outputting a scalar distance, so we can show that scalar distance between particle and global position right in our graph. To help out, I'm going to lower the emission rate to say 5,000. And I'm going to right click on the get distance to object output and show the values of that stream. And I'm going to show them as a numeric value because that's all I really have an option for. And if I press OK, I'll just move back to frame 1. And if you zoom in close enough, again, I've got a lot of particles here, so let me try and reduce that to something that we can see. We can see that the distance, the closest distance to our object is 1.6 units, and the farthest particle in this case is 15.07. I'm sure it'll actually increase. It looks like if I keep going farther, it looks like 16.037 is about our farthest distance. So we could actually say a distance of 17, end distance of 17, and a start distance of 0. So let's use that display information to help us increase the accuracy of this measurement. And we'll be setting the particle age limit so that they can actually live for a little while before dying.